What's your name?
My name is Chris Stokes, born and raised in North New Jersey,
Yeah. What school did you go to here in Newark?
Central High School,
Yeah. What year did you come out?
79.
And what did you do after high school?
After high school, man, I basically got into drugs, selling drugs. That's what,
How did that come about?
like I grew up in the projects on Mercer Street. I lived on Mercer, Howard, Lincoln, and Broome Street. And my other family lived in Hayes Home. So, like, one thing I found out, what we pay attention to and agree with becomes a part of us. And that's what I paid attention to. You know what I mean? The drug selling, the clothes, the girls, and all that. My mom was on welfare. I couldn't get no Converse. She couldn't buy me no Converse. So, me seeing what they was doing, how they was getting money, I was attracted to it. So that's why I got involved in it. Not making no excuses. I could have made different choices and decisions in life. But at that present time, I wasn't strong enough to make those type choices. I'm mad enough to say that. I wanted to take the easy route out.
So what did you do? You started selling what?
First I started selling weed, little Acapulco Gold, little Sesame, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But then I got into selling some coke. This was before the crack era came in.
Right.
Then I was doing okay with that, stacking a little bit of money here and there. But then when the crack era came out, let me tell y'all something. Don't never ever try that base stuff. Because it took one time for me, and I was off to the races for 20 years. So in that process, like when I first started smoking crack, I was freebasing, stuff like that, So when I first started it was just recreational. On the weekends, stuff like that. When I come to Sensation, stuff like that, I would do it here and there, and that was it. But then,
Let me ask you what, for anybody who doesn't know, explain what freebasing is.
freebasing is what they did before the crack, before it turned into crack. We used to use a little bit of water and ammonia to make it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they cooked it back in the day. A little ammonia and stuff like that. That's how they cooked it. That's why a lot of people, like, you could say that's why Richard Pryor got burnt up, because that's how he cooked it.
Okay.
Stuff
Something.
like that.
Yeah.
They could set on fire. But then when it got to the crack is when you cook it up with baking soda and just water.
Okay.
Purifies faster and stuff like that.
Okay.
So once I got caught up with that, the clock had started going down. So instead of me flipping my money, like I'm spending it all up on crack. Now I barely got money to flip, to do what I do. I done went from buying ounces down to flipping a clip. A clip was which 10 bottles.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I done went all the way down from weighing 180 pounds all the way down to 120. But when you in denial, you ain't telling yourself you look bad because you still got some good clothes.
Right.
You still looking a little bit of good. You still going out. So you ain't paying no attention that your addiction is progressing. It's moving further and further. So after that, after I started getting into trouble and started stealing stashes and all that old crazy stuff, and the jokers on the block wanted to kill me. But they loved me. So they said, listen, you need to go to rehab. Because if you don't go to rehab, we're going to end up killing you because you're wilding, So I went to rehab. That didn't work out. It didn't even stay there long. I left. When I left, I started ripping and running like crazy. And what happened was, after about 5 years of ripping and running, my mom, she passed from a heart attack. And then my sister turned around and passed a brain cancer like 2 months later. Wow. So that's my immediate family. So after they was gone, I just got the fuckers. And once you get the fuckers, you just don't care about anything and whatever it is. You're going to do whatever you got to do to get that drug. You know what I'm saying? So I was robbing, stealing, moved down Hyatt Court. Because I didn't want my family to see me. I know if I stayed up in North, they was going to see me. You know what I mean? And they were like, you need to go get help. And I wasn't ready to go get help because I kind of like love being in that crazy hell that I was in. I kind of accepted it. And I was like happy with it to a point. But it got to the point where, man, I was homeless for like 13 years. And I was living in a hallway down on 9 Hawkins Court in Hyatt Court. And on the first floor, there's this little boy named Sincere, right? Sincere Amir. And the kids used to bully him. And I remember being bullied when I was younger. So I used to stop the kids from bullying them. The kids loved me down there. They used to be like, every day he's hustling. Like they used to be wilding, you know what I'm saying? But the kids know I had a good heart. Yeah. So they never called me a crackhead or nothing like that. Plus, every time I got money and stuff like that, I used to take it to the ice cream truck and all that. So like they always gave me a little bit of love. So I stopped them from bullying him. So I used to go to the store for his moms and stuff like that. So this one particular day, man, it was July 29th. 2012, around about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I am high as hell up in that hallway. I got my comforter in the hallway, everything. He comes out in the hallway. He's like, Hustle. This little boy, 7 years old. He like, Hustle. My mom's cooked. She said, you hungry? I said, absolutely. She said, all right, when she finishes, I'm going to bring your plate out. I said, okay. So he brings the plate out. He said, Hustle, man, can I sit down with you while you eat your food? I said, yeah. So I sat down, eat my food. He telling me how his day going. You know what I mean? Like, you never know who the creator going to send at you. You ain't got no idea. The creator know I love kids. So he asked me a question that I had no answers for. He said, Hustle. My mom said, you're a good dude. Said, you got a good heart. I know you're a good person. I said, oh, well, thank you, sincere. He said, so why you smoke crack?
Wow.
And he kept tapping me. Hustle. Hustle. Looking at him. I asked you a question. I said, yeah, I know. He said, why you smoke crack? I had no answers for him. So he hugged me and said, it's going to be okay, Hustle. You're going to be all right. And he went in the house. When he went in the house, man, I sat there and he knocked all the high out of me. I wasn't even high no more. He knocked every bit of it out of me. I sat there and I just cried and I cried. And I had 2 warrants in the East District Precinct, which was right up the street. I walked up the street, turned myself in, and I ain't looked back since that date, man.
Wow.
But in that process of ignorance, I ended up with 58 arrests. So I took drug court, completed drug court. They expunged my whole jacket because I had no real big felonies on it. So you don't have no real big felonies, they can expunge your whole jacket. But you have to graduate from the program.
Okay.
I graduated from the program in 3 years. I didn't do the whole 5 years because I was doing so much, you know. Once I turned my life around and I found out what my purpose was, I was off to the races. Just like I chased them drugs, I chased the recovery. Hard. I got high every single day on the streets, and I got high on life every single day on the streets. Like I went and got my forklift certification. I went and got my OSHA 10. I went and got my OSHA 30. Like I was not playing. I am a certified peer recovery specialist now. I could give narcan shots and everything. And I got most of that when in my 50s. I'm 62 now.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So this process of life right here, man, like you never know what's going to happen to you. You never know how it's going to grasp you. But what you have to really do is have some courage and be able to get over your fears. Because fears is one of the things that kept me in the streets for so long. Like when you've been doing bad for so long, sometimes you get scared of doing right. Believe it or not. People get scared of doing right because it takes work. This is easy. It takes work to get right and to stay right. You got to put some work in. Ain't nothing going to come to you easy. But the process is so beautiful when you get into it. You know what I mean? When you accept who you are, what you've been through, how you got there, and how you got out of there. But one thing you have to do, which is step 4, take a searching and fearless more inventory of yourself.
That's right.
Because if you don't go down deep, down there in that abyss, and find out why you stayed out there so long, and why you hate yourself, and why you don't love yourself, and why you don't love your family, and why you just, like if you don't find out all those things, it's a possibility you can repeat it. Like you could definitely repeat that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's good to get knowledge of self so you can find out how you can deal with your feelings and emotions better. Because most of us get high because we can't deal with our feelings and emotions.
That's right.
Most of the people that's locked up for murders and all that, they might be locked up for murder, but they locked up because they can't deal with their feelings and emotions. They couldn't deal with people turning them down. They couldn't deal with somebody calling them punk. They couldn't deal with all that type of stuff. It's imperative that you learn who you are and how to deal with yourself. Like life gonna show up whether you like it or not. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that. And I don't know how many times I gotta say what you pay attention to and agree with becomes a part of you. Because you gotta understand, we only human beings. Trying to be the best person we could be on a daily basis. But it's easy for us to be influenced. Before you know it, you put it like this, you can get it, be with somebody for so long, y'all even start to look alike, talk alike, everything. So what makes you think, if you go to the barbershop, you ain't gonna get no haircut? What makes you think, if you're hanging around people who are doing certain things, that you're not gonna become part of that if you're around them long enough? You know what I mean? So it's best to stay out of harm's way. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. I stay out of harm's way, and I do what I love to do. I love to write. You know, I write on a continuous basis because once you write it down and you see it, you can make it happen. You know what I mean? Because you ain't get to just think it all the time. Sometimes it's good to put it down on paper.
That's right.
Our ancestors did it. So if they did it and it worked for them, why not I'm doing it? So it can work for me. You know what I mean? So, like, you got any questions, man? Like, hit me, man. I got you.
Yeah. Thank you, first of all, for sharing your story. I never danced next to you all these years. Never knew that you had this powerful a message to come in and share with people.
Absolutely.
When you were out there in the street, what for people who don't know, who might see this, what's the worst thing that you came across that you can remember that somebody, the average person, would never understand unless they are living that lifestyle?
Like, it's a couple things.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes people sell their bodies, you know what I'm saying, for the drugs and stuff like that. But the worst thing that I came across when I was in the Iron Bound section, it was me and this girl. We used to get high together because I had like a little apartment that housing let me, that one of the guys that worked for housing let me stay at, gave me the keys to it. And I literally, bro, watched her get stabbed to death for taking somebody's wallet.
Wow.
Like, I literally, like, couldn't stop the guy. By the time I got over there, he had stabbed her like 20 times already.
Dang.
In the car. And I finally got her out the car. But because I heard her screaming, and she seen me. And she was like, "Hustle!" And I ran down the street. I was like about 6 cars away from her. She seen me coming down the block. But she had took the man's wallet out of his pocket while she was giving him some fellatio. And he realized she took the wallet. And he had a gun in it, a knife in the glove compartment. And he pulled it out, and he was going in. Wow. And I like opened up the car door, and I finally got her out the car door. But by the time I got her out, half her neck was hanging off, one of her breasts was cut, bruh. And I'm sitting there trying to pump her and keep her alive, man. But believe it or not, that didn't even keep me clean.
You kept using after that.
I wake up, I had the same thing.
Yeah.
I was going to go get me, to tell you the truth, I was going to get a stem and a rose when that happened. I was on my way to the Puerto Rican store to get me a stem and a rose and a lighter when that happened. And yo. Wow. But that still wasn't enough to stop me from getting high. You know what I mean? It took that little boy to stop me. But just seeing that, I grew up on Mercer Street. I seen people get shot, stabbed. I had already was desensitized to that. So that didn't really like affect me. Like, it didn't happen to me. She should have never robbed him. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you get when you're out there. You don't care. Like, I gotta go do what I gotta do. I tried tried to save her, but it ain't work. I had blood all over me. I still went to the Puerto Rican store.
Got your stem in your rose.
Got my stem in my rose with blood all over my hand and head. They're like, "Yo, what's going on? What happened to you?" It wasn't me. Let me get that stem and rose.
Right.
Went in an apartment, changed clothes, took a shower, did what I do.
How long did you keep using after that?
Oh, after that, I think I stayed out there another, maybe 6 more years. I was getting high for 20 years.
Wow. And you have how much clean time now?
12 years clean. July 29th made 12 years.
July 29th. That's what's up.
12 years.
What keeps you clean today?
Oh, man, me loving myself first and foremost, man. And me praising the Creator. You know what I mean? And me also praising my ancestors. You know what I mean? I got a little stand in my house, man. You know what I'm saying? That I praise my ancestors, my mother, you know, my sister and all that little type stuff. That's what keeps me clean. And I always got goals. I always set little tiny little goals for myself on a daily basis. Whether it's just saying hi to 5 people, you know what I mean? Whether it's greeting somebody nice, whatever it is, those little things keep you open-minded, keep you alive, and make you feel good. Especially at the end of the day, I reflect on my day. If I hurt anybody, if I said anything wrong to anybody, and I try to correct that the next day. You know, I try to take a look back at how my day went and how I handled that day. What did I do wrong in that day? You know what I mean? Because reflection is a good thing in life. When you reflect and you sit back and you meditate on it, you know, you get the answers that you need. You know what I mean? And you try to do it different the next day. Matter of fact, it's imperative that you do it different the next day. Because you keep doing the same thing, you and I know you're going to get the same results.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you got to do things different, man. But, like, if people like what happened today, like the sister called me, and she knew I would show up for her. You know what I mean? Like, and I went and I showed up. That's why I was a little late today. But like, I could do that today.
Yeah.
Like, that's a beautiful thing. Somebody can call me and be like, I need you. And I can go show up today. You know what I mean? Before they would call me like, yo, Hustle, I need you to come through here, man. Man, I'm doing something. I was getting high.
Right.
I didn't care about nobody. I didn't care. I was self-centered. All I cared about was myself.
After all the things that you've seen in your life, what are the goals now for the former hustle man?
Oh, my hustle is on a different level.
Oh, you took it up.
They still call me hustle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But my hustle is different now. I got hustle on my name tag. I work at Wawa.
I know that's right.
Hustle was on my name tag at Wawa. But it's hustle because when the lady hired me, she said, well, we got to get you a name tag. What you want me to put on your name tag? I said, hustle. She said, I'm not putting that on you. I said, well, let me explain something to you first before you say no. She said, what? I said, I'm going to be the lead at that funeral court in less than a month. I said, after you see my work ethic and how I work around here and how I hustle around here, let's just, don't give me no name tag. Let's just wait a week. And I guarantee you, you'll put hustle on that name tag. She said, oh, so you think so, huh? I said, no, I don't think so. I know so. It's an action word. I know.
Yeah.
She was like, okay. I had hustle on my name tag by the end of that week. She was like, did you just, have you power washed and everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
You dusted it? Yeah. You came underneath yeah. Who told you to do that? Nobody. I seen it need to be done. And it gets done. I said, one thing about us black people, we have intellect. So if you listen to your they would allow you to do things that you see.
I like that.
You'll be connected to your third eye. I don't know if you know anything about that, but this is why I do the things I do. Because I can see it. Before I couldn't see that. And I can see it now.
What's the biggest thing you wake up looking forward to every day now?
Well, the first thing, man, is just to be able to breathe. Like to be able to breathe. Breathing is very powerful. People don't understand. You get up in the morning and you take 10 real deep breaths. Not in the inside. You know what I mean? Because you're dealing with closed air. You know what I'm saying? But you go outside, stick your head out the window and take 10 deep breaths. You know what I mean? And then you just get ready to tackle the day. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? I look at the day like, let's go. What you got for me? What I'm going to learn today? Who I'm going to dress today? And who can I help today? And who's going to dress me? Like, I look forward to that. And people, when your light is shining, people ask you some of the most powerful things.
Yeah.
People come to you when you never thought would say nothing to you. And just be like, running their mouth. They just start spitting up everywhere. And you just like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's your life. That's who you are now. So you'll be a fool not to share your knowledge. Because knowledge is not something that you're supposed to hoard. Knowledge is something you're supposed to share. Because you only can keep it if you give it away.
That's right.
Because you gotta got room for more information. So it's best to let the other information out so you can have room for some more.
That's right.
Yeah.
How has life and recovery been? Because getting clean don't make the problems go away.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like I said before, life gonna show up whether you like it or not. But the good thing about life is you got a chance to do basically almost anything you want to do. But it's up to your determination. It's up to your visualization on what you want to do. And it's up to you to put that plan in motion. You know what I mean? Because listen, doors gonna close on you, but that don't mean nothing. Like my grandmother always said, the line ain't gonna get no shorter if you don't get in it.
Right.
It ain't gonna get no shorter if you don't get in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you gotta conquer them fears and all that. You gotta go for what you want. Even if it doesn't happen when you think it's gonna happen. That don't mean you give up on it. You keep going, and you keep going, you keep knocking until one of them doors open up. And you don't know what that door is. You don't know what the Creator got planned for you.
Right.
It might not happen for you right now. You might get frustrated, angry, and all types of stuff. Like I'm going through something right now. I got to move out of my place. You know what I mean? I got to go. I got to find another place. But Creator looked out for me again. put me in the old folks home to the time being.
Right.
I start telling people my story, what's going on with me, and somebody reached out to me. Yo, I heard you was on this and this and that. I'm like, yeah, listen, I'm gonna send you an application. Fill out the application real quick. Fill out the application, send it to him, he emailed it to somebody else. Boom, they say your product be ready next month.
That's how recovery works.
That's how it works,
You
man.
gotta share first, though, right?
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Say that.
Closed mouth don't get fed,
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
I like life, man. I like difficulties. I like being uncomfortable. Because when I'm uncomfortable, that lets me know I got something I need to be working on. If I'm uncomfortable about a certain situation, oh, let me take a look at that and find out why I feel uncomfortable about that. Or why am I running away from it? I need to find out. See, I'm always investigating. Like, you ain't gonna just tell me something. Like, I'm gonna investigate it and see. And if you're lying, now I know how to deal with you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna judge you or nothing like that, but I'm just gonna thank you for giving me. My angel said when a person shows you who they are, believe them. So thank you for showing me who you are. I ain't mad. I just know how to deal with you. I still love you. I just can't do it.
What's been the hardest struggle in recovery?
Oh, the hardest struggle for me in recovery, man, like no doubt, to deal with disappointments. Dealing with disappointments has been the hardest thing for me. Because sometimes, man, I just like, no, it ain't supposed to be like that. You know what I mean? Like you ain't supposed to act like that. But who am I to tell somebody else how they supposed to respond? Or how they supposed to help me?
Right.
Or when they supposed to help me? I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, once again, I gotta have some acceptance in my life. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not dealing with those situations correctly, then I need to go back and do some more work. If I'm still getting angry over little issues that I have no control over, I need to do some more work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at that present time, it was difficult. Now it flows kind of good, man. Like I don't got, when stuff come up, man, I just look at it and I just tell myself, what's the next best thing? What's the next step? And I just go through the next step.
Right.
Because procrastination for anybody in recovery is bad. It's bad for you to procrastinate. When you know, and your spirit know you're supposed to be doing this, and you go, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till next week. Before you know it, 4 or 5 months done pass, and you still ain't done that. But your insides tell you, I got you. Go ahead and do that. But you say, not right now. You're blocking your blessing. Yeah, blocking your blessing. So if I don't do what I have to do on a daily basis, I look at it like I'm blocking my blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I wouldn't have told them people what's going on with me,
You wouldn't be in that place.
I wouldn't be able to move in that apartment that month. You know what I mean? Call my cousin up, Karen. Yo, boy, bring your butt over here. Come stay with me. You know what I mean? To your apartment, get ready. Back.
Explain what sponsorship is.
Oh, sponsorship. The basis of sponsorship is to guide you to the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. To guide you through this process so you won't get big-headed and think you got this. Because a lot of people in early recovery, they get like 30 days under their belt. They want to tell somebody how to recover. But right now, you're supposed to be quiet. You're supposed to be quiet. Ain't nobody supposed to even hear from you. Your mouth supposed to be shut and you're supposed to be listening. And you're supposed to be taking suggestions. So if your sponsor is trying to guide you through this process, like he was guided through this process, but you keep going, man, I don't feel like, man, I ain't that bad. All of me wasn't bad. Huh? It was bad inside and outside. You need to sit down.
Yeah.
You need to shut up.
Yep.
And you need to take some suggestions. Sponsorship is very, very powerful. But you have to get the right sponsor.
And how do you find the right sponsor?
By being quiet and listen to people share.
What am I going to find out if I listen to people share that's going to help me find a sponsor?
Because when you're hearing different stories, so anybody can tell you anything. But when you hear stories, they affect you. When you hear somebody say something and you go, oh, I've been through that. What? That's how you made it through that? I need to talk to that person. Then you go talk to that person, and you find out, y'all got little things in common, and you find out that that person ain't here to loan you no money. He ain't here to pat you on your back. He ain't here to sugarcoat nothing. He here to guide you through this process so you won't relapse and go back to the streets or go back to nothing like that. He is like the foundation, one of the foundations of the program. Because if you got some step one, if you got some acceptance in your life, then you better accept a sponsor. Because you try to do this butt naked and find out what happened to you. You try to do this butt naked. That's if you're going to follow the criteria of the program. Some people don't follow the criteria of the program. You know what I mean? It's called the program for a reason. Anybody who doesn't have a program in their life, and I ain't just talking about NA.
Right.
If you don't have a program in your life, you plan to fail. You better have a program. You better have a structured program so you can reach some goals. After you do that, okay, what's the next best thing for me to do? Do that. What's the next best thing for me to do? And you do that. And before you know it, when you look back, you're like, what the? Like, I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing. Like, never. I never thought I would go on a due process show talking about reentry. On an Emmy Award winning show. Me, smoke crack for 20 years on an Emmy Award winning show. Creator got some word, he got my, but you just got to stay on that path. And part of that path is sponsorship, friendship, you know what I mean? Like being loyal, being accountable. Like all those things work, you know what I mean? If you work.
You just mentioned some spiritual principles. So what I want to do now is kind of go through the steps, but I want to go through them like 3 at a time. Like steps 1, 2, and 3. What were they about for you?
Well, the first, right, step 1, 2, and 3 is about acceptance, first and foremost. Because I could, you know, accept that you're an addict. So you're in denial about that. You know what I'm saying? They basically work together. Step 2 and 3 kind of like works with step 1. You know, kind of like a crutch with step 1. You know, because once you got some acceptance, once you accept that you are, the next step is to address those things. It's not easy to address those things when you've been beating yourself up mentally and spiritually for a lot of years. It's not easy to sit there and tell somebody, I'm a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy to have confrontation with your own self. Right? Like when you look in the mirror, look, and have a conversation with yourself. Most people don't do that. I did that. Like, I looked in that mirror and I had a confrontation with myself. Now, you a piece of crap. All that shit you did to them people, all that stealing and all that stuff, that shit wasn't right. Like, you know, you weren't supposed to do that. I don't want to hear no excuses. You could have made a different path. You know what I mean? So.
Steps 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, well, 4, 5, and 6 is difficult. That's not easy. That's when you get on your spiritual path, when you get to 4, 5, and 6. That's basically your foundation for your spiritual journey. Because once you get to step 4, and you start writing down, boy, when you get in that room and you by yourself, and it's just you and that stationary pad, and you start writing. When I first started doing my searching and first small inventory, man, I wrote so much. I look back, I was like, what the hell? Like, bruh, like, there was a lot of pain on that paper.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the right sponsor, I might have relapsed. Because he was like, it's okay, Chris. It's okay. We're going to break this down, paragraph by paragraph. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get through this. You know what I mean? And step 5 and 6 coincide. Most of the steps coincides with each other. So once you get acceptance, then you get searching for a small inventory yourself. Then you start speaking at a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Then you start helping to a certain point. You know, then when you get to that last step, once you get to that last step, because NA is a little different from AA. Because in AA, they do the steps like this. They go through them quick. But in AA, it's just drinking. In AA, we did way more than they could even possibly imagine to get to drugs, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it's going to take a harder spiritual path for us to come with some acceptance to even deal with life on life terms when we've been living one way for so many years. You know what I mean? So step work is very, very important. It's very, very important.
Step 7, 8, and 9.
What's step 7 again? Because I definitely forgot.
Shortcomings.
Ooh. When you're dealing with your shortcomings, that's also kind of difficult because you're being denied. You're being denied when it comes to your shortcomings. Like, you don't want to believe that you went this far. You don't want to believe that you did the things you did. And you become ashamed of those things that you did. And you don't. Some people don't even want to share them. You know what I mean? And you have to watch who you share with. Now, let me say that.
That goes back to step 5.
That you cannot express everything with anybody. You know what I mean? Because I know people that went out because they shared certain stuff in groups. And those people took it to someplace else and then they heard about it a week later. Like, that hurts. And that causes people to go back out. You know what I mean? So
that's why it's an anonymous program.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be anonymous. Yeah.
It's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So that's why it's good to fall back and listen and pay attention to how people are living, what they say, and how and are they doing what they say they're doing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go searching. You ain't got to go do that. You cannot keep a mask up for so long.
That's right.
It's coming down. And the person going to see who you is. You know what I'm saying? So I watch. I learned that from the projects. Like, you just don't hang out with everybody. You just don't tell everybody anything. You just don't do that. You know, it's only certain people who you can really tell those type things to. You know, tell what your shortcomings is and all that. It's only certain people you can tell that to because they're going to give you some positive feedback on it.
That's in the program they call that getting a good network. Right?
Absolutely, you have to get some good network. Yeah, you have to. Because when I first came in recovery, like my sponsor had like 30-something years clean. He like 30-something years clean. I asked him to be my sponsor. He told me no. He said, because you ain't serious. So what? You know, if you were serious, you wouldn't take no for an answer. I said, wow. I said, okay. I said, so you're going to be my sponsor? He said, no, I'm good. Come to a few more meetings and we'll talk about that. I said, okay. So I waited about 2 or 3 months doing what I was doing. He seen me doing what I was doing. He seen me at this meeting, seen me at that meeting, seen me at a couple of house music festivals. So you love to dance, huh? I said, to the core. He said, I think we can do some work together. We did some work together. He moved down. He lived in California. He moved down. He lived in California. But we went through our work, though. We went through the step work, though.
Okay.
He took me to the 12 traditions and the 12 steps. Took me through all that stuff. He was right there by my side. Got me through the whole process.
Have you been in service on the area level?
Oh, I did. I had a commitment at what's that little church across the street from Prince Street? That little church right there. It's a little church across the street from Prince Street, right? The playground right here.
Abyssinia.
Yeah, right there. I did their little commitment for about 2 years. Yeah. Huh? Service work is important, man. Yeah. Because it keeps you connected. You know, it keeps you connected. Like, if you ain't connected, man, look, like, with anything in life, you have to be connected. You know what I mean? You have to take it seriously. Because it's people. I'll put it like this. You don't know who's sitting in the back of that, meeting. You have no idea that when you sharing your spirit, strength, and hope, no matter if it's on step work, no matter what it is, somebody new could come in that room that day, hopeless, don't know where to go, don't know what to do, and taking a chance and coming to this meeting today. So if they hear some bull jump, they running out of there. They not gonna stay. So when you're sharing your experience, strength, and hope, it better be your experience, your strength, and your hope in that order. You shouldn't be going all around directions and all over the place and like, come on, man. I go to some meetings sometimes, I be like, for real? Like, you still dealing with the same issue that been 5 years? You ain't got no business up this shit. No disrespect. But if you got the same issue, you can't stop. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Bruh, we don't want to hear it no more. I'm sorry. I will get up like, bro, we don't want to hear that, bro. It's not helping me. I'm sorry. But I'm one of them dudes that will just say that. Because that's not helping me. If you got a newcomer coming in here, bro, and he's sitting back here and he listening to that, he gonna be like, I'm about to go get high. That's what he gonna say. So if you got 15 years clean, why you sharing this? I don't get it.
Clean time don't equal recovery.
Bruh, I love you for that. Clean time definitely don't equal recovery.
Yeah, man.
It definitely don't. Because this is all aspects of your life. It's recovery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when we're in that process, we're a whole different person.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, your mind and your mood changing, it's a substance that does that to you. It's a mind-altering, mood-changing substance.
Yep.
Like, you are a monster. Listen, I put it like this. I was a monster. Like, I ain't want to hear nothing. Nobody said, like, I'm like, So they be like, yo, man, I got, I don't want no help. When I'm ready to change, I'll change. I ain't trying to hit it. I ain't ready right now. But I knew me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I knew me until I got in recovery.
Right.
Then I found out who me was. And I was like, wow. Because my mother always said, well, one day something's going to happen to you. It's going to wake you up. And then you're going to really find out who Chris is. I ain't always going to have to go through all this.
Right.
I didn't know the journey was going to be this long. I thought I was going to wake up faster than this. But everybody's path is different.
Right.
I'm hard-headed. I had to hit my head up against the walls. I had to get all my teeth knocked out. I had to get locked up all them times. That's what had to happen for me, for me to wake up. But look what happened. It still worked out right at the end. Like, I ain't got nothing to complain about. And we'll complain anyway because you don't benefit from complaining. That's a waste of energy. A waste of words.
What's the we in the program there's a lot of cliches.
Yeah.
What are some of the ones that you run through your head most often to help you when you're having trouble?
Mine is like an umbrella and only works when it's open.
Okay. That's right. Mine is like an umbrella, only works when it's open.
It works when it's open. Life is 10% of what happened to you, 80% of how you react to it.
That's right.
Think. You know what I mean? Most of my phrases came from the plaques on the walls.
Yeah.
Because the things that everybody was saying in the groups, those little cliche saying, I didn't listen to them too much. You know what I mean? Because I already knew, like, they just saying it to sound good. You know what I mean? They just saying it to sound good. Yeah. I took the concrete stuff, the stuff that was on the walls. When you walk down the Laney Hall, on both sides of the walls, you see everything. I wrote down every plaque, everything, every poster was in that hallway. It was from 48. I wrote all of them down in my book, and I still got all that paperwork right there today.
Wow.
Still got all that paperwork.
Wow.
Yeah, still got all that paperwork. One of the most powerful ones that I like, like that I really like. I said it earlier. What we pay attention to and agree with becomes the part of it. That is so powerful, man. That is so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, that stays on my head all the time because when people be talking, they jump right in there. You know what I mean? And I get out the way. I put it like this. I'm writing a book. It's called What It Is, What It's Going to Be, and How We Going to Do it.
Oh.
So one of the chapters is called Get Out the Car.
Okay.
And the reason why I call it Get Out the Car is when you sitting there and you talking with somebody and you know they lying. You know they talking bull junk. Get out the car. Yeah. Why you still sitting in the car with them? Why you still strapped in? Well, you can just get out and keep it moving. You ain't got to sit there and listen to that. You ain't got to be disrespectful to them. You ain't got to be mean to them. You can make any excuse up you want to get out that car. Because just listening to that, when you're in recovery and you have reached to a, you're always going to be growing. Your recovery never stops. Life never stops. But when you get to a certain point, you can feel the negativity coming off somebody. You can feel the goodness in somebody. Literally. You know this is a good person for me to be around. I speak to you every time I see you. Don't, because I know you're a good person. I met you through my cousin, Derek, and I knew you was a good person. I saw you all the time, but when I seen you with Derek, and Derek told me what you did for him, I was like, wow. I said, you better keep him as a friend all the time. Well, we know that didn't happen, so.
Can't say like that.
It's all good, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But this process right here never stops. And see, that's what some of us forget. That this never stops. No, I'm not an active addict. No. But I have built over the years some bad habits. You know what I mean? I have built over the years some bad habits, and they still kick in sometimes. You know what I mean? They still kick in. I find myself sometimes, when my boss tell me to do something, I be like defiant. Like, why? She be like, what? She be like, what? And then I gotta, I catch myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my bad. You got that. And then I just go do it. You know what I mean? But, I'm glad I am a work in progress.
That's right.
I am happy I'm a work in process. Because now, I can accept some things. I can be quiet and listen when somebody is saying something. Before, you know how hard that was to listen? Man, I ain't want to listen to nothing nobody had to say. Yeah. Like, man, I'll do it myself. I'm a grown man. I'll learn on my own. Brother, don't walk over there, man. There's a big hole. Well, I'm walking over there anyway. Fall out in the hole, chip myself all up. Now I got my hand up, talking about help pull me out. Come on now.
Yeah. You just listened.
If I'd have just listened.
What is the thing that you would tell somebody who doesn't know what drugs does to them, and they're about to go someplace where there is drugs? What would you tell them?
Oh, I tell them straight up. Listen. If somebody put a gun out on you, or they got a gun on you, they get ready to shoot you, right? And you be like, oh, don't shoot me, I want to live. And they say, I'm going to kill you if you don't go and do this. So you go and you do that. And you keep doing that. The gun is no longer at your head anymore. The point I'm trying to make is, why would you have a gun at your head wherever you're going if you're going to get high? That's like having a gun at your head all day, every day. You got a gun. It's loaded. And you shooting your own self every single day. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself emotionally. You're killing yourself physically. You're killing yourself spiritually. Your gun is loaded with all this ammunition. And I would tell them, listen, don't be a fool. I was a young fool, and then I became an old fool. That's how long it took me to get right. I was a young fool, and then when I woke up, I was an old fool.
Wow. That's it right there.
Yeah. But don't even take a chance. And the next thing I will tell them, I ain't making no excuses for nothing, but the drugs are synthetic now. You're not getting real cocaine. You're not getting real heroin. You ain't even getting real weed no more. They don't even grow weed. Some weed not even grow in dirt anymore. It's growing water. They're using chemicals and stuff to grow the weed. And some of the weed got fentanyl in it. You got to be careful these days. Because they're trying every way they can to keep you down so you can't think. A world of thinkers is a problem. A world of workers is what they want.
That's right.
Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if you know somebody who's getting ready to try that, you better tell them your story. You better tell them, this is what you want to do? Let me tell you something for me. You got 5 minutes? I'm going to tell you something in 5 minutes. If you still want to go get high, after I tell you these 5 minutes, then you go right over here. Because I'm telling you what's going to happen. It's going to start off fun. You're going to have a good time. Then it's going to become habit. Then it's going to become a job. Then it's going to hurt. And after all that, you're going to want to give up. You're going to want to give up on everything. Because it's a job to get up in the morning and go find the next hit. What you going to do when you ain't got no job, you ain't got no skills, you don't even know how to steal? How the hell you going to get high every day? It ain't even worth it. It's better to go to work. It's better to make $15 an hour, $13 an hour working at McDonald's. It's better to do that. You know what I mean? You might not get the outcome you got, but like I tell people all the time when I go speak, one brother stood up and told me, man, I ain't working no 15-hour job. I ain't doing none of that. I said, you ain't? He said, nah. I said, you mind if I say something to you? Since you jumped up and you blurted out all that. He was like, yeah. I said, can you be quiet and just look at me while I'm talking to you? Because I need you to hear me. You know, I don't need you just to see me. I need you to hear and listen. Can you do all three of those things? He was like, yeah. I said, first and foremost, do you have any skills? What you mean? Do you got a trade? Nah. How you going to make $30 an hour? You have no trade. I see. You don't even know how to talk because you just blurted out something. You didn't even ask for permission. Another thing. You ain't even got no talking skills. So that's another strike against you. Did you graduate from high school? Nah. Do you got your GED? No. Another 2 strikes against you. So how you going to make $20, $30 an hour? Like you telling me, because if you got a way of doing that, besides selling drugs, you could just come out here and go right to a job making $30 an hour. It ain't what you know, it's who you know. And with your mentality, you ain't going to be around the who you knows. You ain't. They ain't even going to want you around them. So you tell me how you going to do it. Because I need to know. Because if you got the answer, can you tell me? So, because I'm out here. I can go make it happen. So you tell me how you going to do it. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear all that. I said, that's the whole point. You just said it. Ain't nobody. So you just told yourself you're a nobody and you don't want to listen. Appreciate that. He sat down, shut up after the meeting. Yo, man, let me get your number, man. You ain't have to embarrass me like that. I said, I ain't embarrassed you. You did that. You got up and showed who you was.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you. You know what I mean? But I gave you the information that you needed to know. That you got some work you need to be doing. How long you was locked up? 8 years. So you was in here 8 years. You ain't trying to get no GED. You ain't trying to do nothing. Oh, you don't know how to read. You're like, nah. Okay, so why you ain't go to one of the brothers and tell them you don't know how to read? You got to swallow your pride. You have to swallow your ego. That's a man tear downer right there. His pride and his ego. Nigga, shut up. If you let that run your life, you ain't gonna never get nowhere.
Never.
Because women will push every button you got and tear you out the frame. And if she can't come to you for no strength, what use does she have for you?
Right.
If you let your pride, your ego get in the way.
Right.
And she come to you and she say, yo, Chris, man, I need you to step your game up a little bit more. These bills is getting a little bit that what you're doing is good, baby. I understand all that. But I need you to like try to do a little bit extra for me. That's her helping you. Your pride and ego ain't supposed to get in front of there. She might got a plan for you to get there. Well, babe, what you mean? Well, look, I got a friend that's doing this and doing that. Like, maybe you should just try that and see how that works. Okay. That's how I got my Ocean 10 and my Ocean 30. Somebody told me. She was like, listen, you like doing things with your hand. Why don't you go get your Ocean 10 and your Ocean 30? This way you can work construction, make a little bit of money while you're going to school. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. Went and did it. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Progressing is a beautiful thing, man.
Absolutely.
But that pride and ego will break you, bro.
Yeah.
It's also with vanity. That's one of the deadly sins.
And I haven't met an addict yet, not an active addict, who wasn't extremely arrogant.
Arrogant as hell. Like
You have to be arrogant to think you can use drugs day in and day out and you're still in control.
How you in control?
Have to be.
How are you in control? Once you this is a human body. Once you put a substance in the body, it changes. So how are you in control?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You might have a little bit, oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that.
That's restraint. That's not control.
Period. But you're still not handling it.
Yeah.
You're still not handling it.
Not at all.
Like, I knew I wasn't in no control. I knew I was all over the place. I was wilding. There wasn't no doubt. I ain't had no control. None. I did what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Like, look, they ain't call me hustle for nothing.
And they say control is impossible the moment it is suggested so.
No. Say it again?
Control is impossible the moment it is suggested. The moment you suggest control, you're out of control.
Whew, you out of control. You know what I mean? You were out of control. You were absolutely right there.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was out of control. I knew.
Welcome.
No doubt. And I see some of the people, now, even the police. I went to Fernandez, the restaurant, and I used to do the security on the cars out there. I used to watch the cars out there at night. And after I finished watching their cars, I would go break in the cars. Not on that block, but I'm on Adams Street, New York Ave. I'm all up and down Ferry Street. Now, I just got finished protecting a whole block of cars. You know, go break in some cars, but after I leave there. Got like $400 in my pocket, and I'm still. That was my tweet, breaking into shit. I would get high. My tweet was breaking into stuff. Like, that's how I came down. Some people beat themselves in the head, some people have sex and all that. Me, I was going to steal. That's how I came down. Which is crazy. Which is out of control.
Absolutely.
Period. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Them cops were so happy they seen me. They was like, Hustle, yo, let me treat you to dinner, man. How long you been clean? I told them how long, because I had 9 years then. I said, 9 years. He was like, thank God. Yeah. Bro, you drove us crazy out here. Because we knew you was doing it, but we couldn't catch you.
Yeah.
So he asked me, why we couldn't catch you? Like, if you don't mind telling us. I said, yeah, I'll tell y'all now, because I'm clean, because I ain't never come back down here no more. I said, I always had to change the clothes. He said, what? I said, when y'all was looking for a dude who had a white t-shirt on and blue jeans, in my backpack, I had the whole camouflage outfit on. Hat, jacket, pants, everything. So after I would do something, I would run and change clothes, hide my backpack, then go home.
Wow.
And then and when y'all run down and take me back to the spot, they would say, that's not him. Even though y'all knew it was me. I said, that's how y'all couldn't catch me. He was like, wow. Oh my God. I know. He said, wow. That was smart, though.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it was smart because I didn't want to go to jail. That's the only reason why it was smart.
Right.
But it was wrong, man. I said, I apologize for taking y'all through that. Like, I really do, man. Like, that wasn't cool. Not at all. He said, damn, no wonder we couldn't catch you. You change clothes all the time? Every single time. He said, but you got high. When you find time to change clothes at Liquidator? You get to pay a pant for $3.
Wow.
Remember Liquidator they had on Ferry Street? Got a Liquidator spot? It was a Liquidator on Ferry Street. When it used to be a Pathmark and a Liquidator right next to it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and they had pants in there for $3, $5. And every time I used to come off, I used to go buy clothes.
The one and only hustle, man.
Absolutely.
All right, man. We about to get out of here. I appreciate you very much
hey,
for
man,
coming
call
through
me
and sharing
anytime,
your story.
bro. Anytime.
For real. When this gets up, I will definitely hit you and let you know so that you can share it with your people.
Hit me up. Let me know. Send the link so I can put it on there.
I will do that.
Yeah.
So thank you, man.
Man, thank you too, bro.
Appreciate you.
Anytime.
All right.
Brick City Recovery Stories. Listen for your story.